This is the ECOFLOW Delta Pro Extra Battery 3600 watts. Honestly, it's a pretty impressive piece of tech. So, I want to give a quick review, just sharing my real experience using this, especially if you're someone who's curious about backup power, camping, RV life, or just wants a simple way to handle power outages at home. I know when I first thought about getting a battery this size, I had a bunch of questions, especially about setup, real usage, and whether it's actually something worth investing in. If you've seen the ECOFLOW Delta Pro before, this extra battery looks pretty similar in overall shape and design. You're looking at a big, modern, pretty heavy box, about 105 pounds. The black and gray finish looks sleek and doesn't feel out of place, whether I keep it tucked away in my RV compartment or stash it in my garage. It's about 25 inches long, 11.2 inches wide, and just over 16 inches tall. So while it's definitely substantial, it feels manageable if you've got a steady grip or a friend to help. From my experience, the main reason to get the Delta Pro Extra Battery is simple: more power. If you already have the Delta Pro, adding one of these doubles your capacity to a total of 7.2 kilowatt hours. What that means for beginners is, say your essentials draw around 1,000 watts. Think a microwave, small fridge, coffee maker, some lights. You're getting over 7 hours of power, maybe even more, depending on how conservative you are with your usage. For me, I've mainly used it in my RV to run the AC overnight without having to keep a noisy generator running. It makes such a difference, especially on hot summer nights or when you're stopped somewhere quiet, like a Walmart parking lot or a remote trail, and just want a peaceful night's sleep. One of the key features I really appreciate is that the extra battery doesn't need any special installation. Plug it into the Delta Pro using the included heavy-duty cable, and instantly, the two talk to each other like they're part of the same brain. The battery percentage and charge-discharge cycle are matched, so you don't have to micromanage which battery is draining. It's all seamless. If you're new to this stuff, don't worry about learning a bunch of weird electrical terms. Just think of it as instantly giving your original power station double the mileage. Charging is another big question I had. What's cool is that the extra battery taps right into all the existing charging options of the Delta Pro. I can charge it from the wall, using solar panels, even from the car while I'm on the road. There's also an option to use ECOFLOW's own smart generator, which can fast charge the battery directly. Great as a backup plan if solar or grid power isn't around. With the right charging setup, you can refill the battery in a couple hours. I haven't had to use the emergency generator yet, but it's nice knowing that in a power outage or a longer road trip, I've got more than one way to refuel. For information tracking, there's a really bright LCD screen on the front that gives all the stats I want: input, output, how much charge is left, even the estimated time until empty or full. I've even used the ECOFLOW app, which lets me monitor everything from my phone and control some settings, even from a distance. This is super handy if you don't want to get up and go check physically. I'll be real with you though. The weight is no joke. At just over 100 pounds, it's not something you want to move every day or lift by yourself. The box it comes in is bulky and honestly, awkward to handle, especially if you're getting it delivered to your door and need to move it inside. But I figure most people in the market for this level of power probably expect a bit of heft. For me, it stays in one spot most of the time, so it's not a deal breaker. Another thing is, this battery only works with the Delta Pro. If you don't own the main Delta Pro power station, this extra battery alone isn't going to do anything for you. That's definitely something to think about before buying. But if you're already an ECOFLOW Delta Pro owner, it's worth it. I remember when I first got both units set up in my RV. I wasn't sure if it could run my air conditioner through the whole night, especially with the heat we get in the summer. So, I tried it out. With the Delta Pro and the extra battery both fully charged, I ran the RV AC and checked the numbers. At about 1,200 watts draw from the main unit and roughly 800 watts from the extra battery, the power split pretty evenly. Even when the batteries got down to 25%, I could see on the display that there was still about an hour left at that load. That peace of mind isn't something you can put a price on. especially when you're off-grid and comfort is all about having reliable electricity. One thing I also want to mention is the battery chemistry. This unit uses LFP cells, which stands for lithium iron phosphate. For anyone who's not a battery nerd, what you need to know is that it means the battery lasts longer. ECOFLOW claims up to 3,000 full cycles before the battery's capacity drops to 80%. In my opinion, that's about 10 years of daily use, and in my case, using it only for trips and emergencies. I expect it to last much longer. I guess what surprised me most was just how quiet everything runs. With both batteries connected and under load, the only thing I ever hear is a faint fan noise, which is nothing compared to a portable generator's rumble. It keeps everything chill, perfect when you want to relax or even sleep. There are a few things I'd improve, or at least warn you about. As I already mentioned, the weight makes it a pain to move if you're on your own. Also, for people who aren't familiar with power stations, the app and all the menu options might feel like a lot at first. But once you get the hang of it, it's really not too bad. ECOFLOW's customer service, in my experience, has been pretty responsive. The one time I needed to ask about an error code, which helped take a lot of the guesswork out.